We begin with breaking news of a reported potential surprise attack targeting California. The FBI warning law enforcement agencies in the state that Iran allegedly aspired to launch drones along the West Coast. CBS News Bay Area's Katie Nielsen has a copy of that alert that went out to law enforcement. Katie, what does it say?
Yeah, Liz, so we actually just got a copy of that maybe only about 30 minutes ago. This is the actual bulletin that went out to police departments across the state from the FBI. So if we were to take a look at what it actually says, it says the JRIC received the following unverified information from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We recently acquired information that as of early February 2026, Iran allegedly aspired to conduct a surprise attack using unmanned aerial vehicles from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the United States homeland, specifically against unspecified targets in California, in the event that the U.S. conducted strikes against Iran. We have no additional information on the timing, method, target, or perpetrators of this alleged attack. For any questions, please contact your local FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. So what's important to note here about this memo that went out is it says allegedly aspired. What does that mean? Where was this in the planning stages? These are questions we still don't have answers to, but we did reach out to the governor's office to try to get a statement from them as far as what they're doing to keep people in California safe. And what we did get back is that the Governor's Office of Emergency Services is actively working with state, local, and federal security officials to protect our communities. This bulletin is one of numerous security updates the state receives from federal partners daily and disseminates to local law enforcement and emergency responders. So what I think is so important that we understand about this is obviously this is incredibly concerning whenever we have this type of an alert go out saying that drones could be attacking targets in California, literally bringing warfare here to the United States. So understandable that everyone is very on edge, everyone is very concerned. But I think the most important thing that we need to look at right now is what does this actually mean? What was this based on? What intelligence was the FBI looking at? So again, going back to allegedly aspired, does that mean they were already in the active planning stages? Does that mean that there is an imminent threat? That's not really what that memo said. And so I think as we start learning a little bit more information, as we're able to get some of those questions answered, we're going to have a much better idea of what it was that prompted this memo to go out to police departments.
So many unanswered questions, and all of them very alarming as to what the answers to them might be. Katie Nielsen, thank you so much for that report. I want to bring in now former FBI Special Agent Jeff Harp to answer some of these questions. Jeff, give us some context about these warnings. How serious is this? I mean, should people be worried here? And we happen to be in California, by the way. Should people here be worried?
Yeah, I wouldn't say worried is the word. You got to understand that post 9/11, there is a directive to over communicate with all the different agencies out there. There's no longer any opportunity for law enforcement to hold things close to the vest. This stuff has to get pushed out. Now, one of the things, as I read through there, the JRIC, which is the Fusion Center down in LA, you got to remember that California has a sizable Iranian population in the Los Angeles area, in the South Bay here. So they have human intelligence out there, the intelligence agencies do, where they're collecting information. So they look at this. If they have any inkling that there is information out there, they're going to broadcast it. It doesn't have to be, 100% accurate, but what they want to get out there is at least a warning to make sure that there is some preparation and notice that goes out.
Yeah, the language in this, and Katie brought this up a couple of times, allegedly aspired. That could mean a lot of things. It could mean something that was possibly thought as a possibility. It could mean that they actually were planning this. What did you read into that?
Well, so there are all kinds of ongoing investigations, counterterrorism investigations with respect to ISIS, Iran, it runs the gamut. And so one of the things that they can do during the course of these investigations, one type of disruption is going out and publicly putting information out there and say, hey, look, we know that there are people talking about this. Or another method is to go out and actually conduct interviews or overtly surveil people so they know that they're being followed. These are all disruptive measures that law enforcement, the FBI, and the Joint Terrorism Task Force use.
Okay, when we talk about getting local law enforcement agencies involved, what does that mean? How do they react when they get this kind of warning from the FBI?
Well, I would venture to guess that the chiefs all get briefed on this information before the bulletin comes out. It doesn't come to them as a surprise. Some of those officers sit on Joint Terrorism Task Force. That's the way they are by design, so that they can reach back into their departments and say, hey, look, this bulletin's going to be coming out, or we have this investigation going on within our AOR. So a lot of this is not going to be news to these guys, but they're going to at least be able to now bring this stuff to light to the public so they can share the information publicly.
Jeff Harp, thank you so much. Always great to get your insight on this.